r/rules horror. Posted by you/karen-grace-fullman. New Springs Academy acceptance. Thank you for your application to New Springs Private Academy. We are pleased to inform you that your application has been successful. Here at the Academy, we believe that manners and respect for everyone will get you a long way. Everyone deserves an equal and fair opportunity to succeed and thrive, and New Springs could help you do just that. We are also known nationally for being much less strict with trivial things such as dress code, homework and final grades. There is no judgment here, so all students from all walks of life will receive the educational help they require to complete their courses. Lessons this term are scheduled to start September 1st and will end December 20th, so please assure you arrive at the Academy at least 1 week prior to ensure you have enough time to settle in and become accustomed to Academy life. We do also require new students to fully read this set of rules before becoming one of us. Please refer to the following. 1. Under no circumstances are you allowed to leave the premises on term time. The moment you enter the Academy's doors you are required to stay on campus at all times. We cannot guarantee your safety, let alone safe return if you choose to do so. The only exception to this rule is the event of a family issue, passing, illness etc. On this occasion, you will be promptly dismissed from the Academy permanently. See scenarios list for more details. 2. Upon arrival, you must set up your room for the term. This includes doing your sheets, organizing books and stationery, using the bathroom and any other regular activities. If these tasks are not complete by the start of term, it is likely that things will not remain regular and the safety of the room is no longer guaranteed. 3. Regardless of religious beliefs, it will always be in your best interest to be familiar with the school chapel and priest. If they accept you, they will always be available to you whenever you are free, even if another person is currently with them. Should you find yourself in an extraordinary scenario, they are the only one who can do anything to help. If they have denied you help, we suggest you beg for forgiveness. 4a. Most students will be placed in a room of 2, 3 or 4. Arrival to the Academy early will ensure you choose the roommates most compatible for you, as it is forbidden to change rooms. We ask that you sleep in your own room every night and to not attempt to do so elsewhere. Again, this is for your own good. B. Always do a head count before falling asleep. You and your friends/s should count the same number of people, even if it's more than the amount actually there. 5. Finding roommates who you are compatible with is essential, as rejecting friendship is rude and a cause for punishment. 6. This goes without saying, but we have never tolerated bullying, harassment or assault of any on other students. Disagreements need to be settled quickly and quietly. For you and your friends' sake, do not get the teachers involved as all parties involved will be punished. Your first offense will be forgiven with blood, but your second will not. 7. If your roommate acts in a strange manner, grab something bright to shine at them. If they appear to burn, you have permission to end. They are no longer human. Depending on your situation, you may be able to confide in the priest. 8. Meal timings will change slightly each day. Breakfast is usually from 7:38-15 a.m., lunch is at 12:45 to 1:30 p.m. and dinner is at 6:45-8 p.m. Eating anything outside of these times is not recommended, since food consumed outside of the dining hall is not safe. 9. The first week of lessons will consist of mathematics, literature, language study, physical education, natural science and history. There is also a designated break time and lunch time, in which students are allowed to go to any room they choose. The students can also find the teachers to discuss things. The timing of the classes is subject to change, however the location will always remain the same. Please refer to the school message board each morning for timings of the day, as it will always be correct to your schedule. Failing to attend lessons on time regularly will lead to selection. 10. All students are to choose 2 additional classes, 1 main sport and a club to be a part of. See activities list for details of classes. Failure to do by the end of the first week of lessons will result in being selected. 11. For those of you who choose to be in the swimming club, ensure you are out of the pool by 6:30 p.m. The cleaning products we use cannot tell the difference between them and you. 12. If you have been selected, you will allowed to continue the term until the week before it ends. Ensure that you are in good health and hygiene, since they do not like bad students. Give up your life and body without a struggle. This means they can forgive your soul and will not hold you accountable any longer. 13. The worst thing you can do at the Academy is lie about anything, no matter how small. They always know the truth, and lying is so disrespectful. Additional classes: music, sculpture, art, philosophy, cookery, modern languages, ancient languages, computing, extended science. Sports: football, lacrosse, fencing, tennis, swimming, cross-country, baseball/rounders. Clubs, sewing, debate, chess, library, performance, baking, dance, gardening, seance. Classes and clubs often fill up quickly, so not everyone will be accommodated. Scenario list. Those of you who have been unfortunate enough to leave the academy with emergency permission are to never return. You will have to find a new school to take you in after such disrespect. They will not be happy that you chose your family over them, but will respect that wish if you beg hard enough. Trying to return to the academy will not be successful. Leaving the premises unexcused and intentionally could be forgiven with a sacrifice. We can satiate their hunger with the lives of the students involved or possession of the offenders' bodies for the rest of their natural lifespan. Neither of these are preferable, so please just stay on the campus. Why would you want to leave anyways? Medical assistance can be found on campus, but is located in the chapel. If you have upset the priest, you will not be provided with their help. All medications you require for the term must be brought with you and stored safely in your room. We will not have any prescribed medicine to provide, so it is recommended that you have some extra. Running out of it will not be a good enough reason to leave the campus. Medical emergencies including severe injuries are also not a valid reason to leave and must be dealt with on-site. Ambulances will not reach the campus as it does not exist. If you are at risk of losing your life, it is for your own good that you pray for a miracle. Once the term starts, we will not have any Wi-Fi or cellular service on the campus, so there is no point in attempting to contact anyone. Teachers can receive messages and items from family outside through postal services, but will not send anything out from the students. Attempting to call anyone will lead to a dead end. Trust us, no matter how your parents may normally be, they will not attempt to contact you. Homesickness or fear is not an excuse to leave us. Attempts to leave us that succeed will not be punished by us, but by your Creator. We are truly excited to have you join us. Just remember to be a good and trustworthy friend, so that the ones here will always help you willingly. Next story of this video. Posted by u/looplocks. The Rafi Wood Ranger Guide by Nick Jacobs. Introduction. Should you be reading this guide, I regret to inform you of your new and permanent employment as a ranger in Rafi Wood. I cannot say for certain why you were taken, but Mabel's reasons for doing so generally fall along the lines of a random act of cruelty. Now I'm sure you're, probably, not a bad person, but you've upset some powerful beings. Perhaps you were startled by a bedraggled-looking cat who limped through your front door and kicked it. Maybe you made your elderly neighbor cry after having a particularly bad day at work. I'm not going to judge, we all got this job for a similar reason. I understand that you may feel the urge to run for the hills, but please finish the introduction to this guide before making any snap decisions. Odds are, you have arrived here at a time when myself and the other rangers are out working or asleep, so I have written this guide for both your safety and ours. Let me start you off by shining a bit of light on your current situation. You are in Rafi Wood, a large forest spanning about 2,000 acres, although this sometimes changes. The wood has a river running through it, several ponds, a small lake, and the perimeter is bordered by a dense mist. You should also know that you are now under the servitude and protection of a being called Mabel. While she is responsible for you being here, without her intervention the being you originally angered would have certainly granted you a much worse fate. Furthermore, without her protection, walking into the woods would be a death sentence. However, you're still by no means safe. Mabel's influence compels most inhabitants to give you a questionably fair chance of survival, but Mabel isn't going to intervene any further than that. We're not sure why she built the ranger team, as the wood and its inhabitants generally take care of themselves. Entertainment probably. Whatever Mabel's reasons are, you're stuck here, and reading this guide will be crucial if you wish to have a long and relatively painless employment. The following are a few of the most basic rules for living and working in Rafi Wood. 1. The room you find yourself in is your bedroom in the cottage where you will be expected to lodge for the rest of your employment. The cottage is constructed from wood and stone, with a kitchen, 1 bathroom and 5 bedrooms including your own. It is easily the safest place in Rafi Wood, and you should not go too far from it unless you must for a job. 2. The doors and windows of the cottage should stay closed at all times, with the exception of one. If you wish to enter or exit, you may climb through the large kitchen window with a planter filled with St. John's wort. Take care to step over the flowers, but if you do squish any, use one of the kitchen knives to slit your palm and lower it into the planter. The flowers nearest to your hand will burrow into the cut and feed. Once the ones attached to you have turned red, you can remove your hand, although you may need to dislodge any clingers. The squished plants should perk up pretty quickly after that. If you neglect the planter for too long, however, you'll give the woods less friendly residents an opening, and you can anticipate a midnight visit. 3 names have power. As it stands, Mabel is the only one who should know your real name, but it is imperative that nobody else finds out, even other rangers. Pick a false name and stick with it. Avoid names that sound too similar to your real one. A lot of inhabitants will try to guess your real name, and picking something too similar may help them figure it out. If they do get it right, it is essential that you do not acknowledge that they were correct in any way. As long as you don't give an affirmative reaction, they will not be able to use it against you. There should be a blank name tag and pen on the nightstand where you found this book. Use them to help remember your choice. For the majority of food in the Rafi Wood is incredibly dangerous for human consumption, and you should not forage or accept food from the majority of inhabitants. Mabel drops off supplies once a week, all of which will be safe. However, if there are any red mushrooms in the delivery, throw them out. They are sometimes hidden in the delivery by one of the more mischievous inhabitants, and they cause terrible sensory hallucinations. One of your predecessors, Amelia, ate one of them when she first arrived and went deaf after jamming a stick into both her ears. She didn't last too long after that. The inhabitants know an easy target when they see one. 5. If someone knocks on the front door, look through the keyhole first. If you see an elderly woman in a green cloak, let her in and refer to Rule 6. This is the only time that it is safe to open the door, since her presence will ward anything else off. If you see anything else or nothing at all, do not open the door. Please. 6. Mabel visits about once a week to deliver her tasks. While she is visiting, be polite, give her the chair by the hearth and offer her some tea. Mabel is a bit shaky on her feet, so she may grab your shoulder or arm as she walks. Her nails are sharp and often covered in grime, but don't react. If you're successful, she'll let go and possibly leave you a jar of honey as an apology. You can eat this, but it can also be used to bribe the more difficult inhabitants. If you do react when Mabel grabs you, she usually gets a bit offended and digs her nails in to increase your pain tolerance. This can lead to a nasty infection, so don't struggle and thank her for doing so, which should cause her to let go quickly. She never stays at the cottage for longer than 30 minutes, after which she should hand over a book with our tasks for the week and leave. 7. We divvy up the tasks immediately after Mabel's visits, and you are expected to complete your share. If you are struggling, however, tell us. Mabel's punishments for leaving things undone aren't fatal, but they're definitely unpleasant. If she's feeling lenient, we might just experience a week-long chill throughout the cottage or a bare minimum food delivery, but Mabel has also been known to take non-vital body parts in compensation. Some rangers are a few fingers short of a full set, and I can tell you from personal experience that losing your depth perception makes a lot of tasks significantly harder. 8. As you travel through the woods, stick to the stone paths whenever possible. It is incredibly easy to get lost in the woods, but all of the paths loop back to the cottage and cannot be meddled with. If you do lose your way, find one and stick to it until you reach home. 9. Being out in the wood at night is always more dangerous than being out during the day, but the risk can be mitigated by carrying an iron lantern. There are a few of them on the shelf near the pantry. The only time that you absolutely shouldn't be out in the woods is from 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. Many of the residents get especially energetic during this hour and will become bold enough to snatch you up, disregarding personal rituals, the iron lantern, and even the risk of incurring Mabel's displeasure. Try to wrap up any task you're doing by 11 p.m. at the latest and head to the cottage. 10. As I mentioned earlier, Rafi Wood is bordered by dense mist. Never touch it. The mist is incredibly corrosive to humans, and I've been unfortunate enough to witness it. 2 rangers collapse into gory puddles before they could even get 10 feet into it. They were not the first ones either. And if you're now considering using the mist to take an easy way out, I'd urge you not to. The mist will melt you, but it won't kill you. The rangers who were tricked or chose to enter the mist now live in a cave by the border. Be kind to them.